Today, I'm excited to welcome Jen Alsman, founder of Unique Balance Health Coaching. Jen is a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, an integrative nutrition health coach, and a certified women's coaching specialist. Jen is passionate about empowering clients to achieve balance, improve their well-being, and make lasting lifestyle changes. Jen, welcome. We're really excited to have you here.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Wonderful. So, health coaching is becoming an increasingly important part of the wellness journey. And so, I'm just curious, what inspired you personally to move forward and start Unique Balance Health Coaching?
For me, it was, and like a lot of people in this space, there was, some sort of not health crisis, but health journey that a lot of us have been on. And for me, that really rang true. It kind of started when I was going through fertility treatments for my second daughter, which would have been probably 14, 15 years ago. And when that wasn't working originally, I found some alternative ways to kind of help in addition to that medical option. So I looked into acupuncture and a nutritionist for fertility, something I never even knew existed. And that kind of opened the door for me as to there's other ways to approach our health, not just that conventional way. And then I've always struggled with some gut symptoms, just not bloating, things like that, constipation. And it kind of was something that I just thought was normal. And then after having my second daughter, it got really bad. And then I, again, found some alternative ways to kind of help work through that. And so then I decided right around COVID, I think I want to work with women and help women on their own health journeys. I've always been into health and wellness, working out. I'm also a group fitness instructor, and I just had a real passion for wanting to help women on their journey because I know what it's like from my own personal experiences.
That's fantastic. I think there's been this whole paradigm shift, I would say, probably over the last 10 years of people just really recognizing that we need to take care of ourselves for longevity, but also for better quality of life. And you really do see that front and center. And I've seen a lot of health coaching come on board because it's not easy to do by yourself. You need to be able to have somebody there really holding your hand. So I'm curious, what makes your approach different from traditional health coaching through your business at Unique Balance?
So for me, it kind of stems from a certification I got recently, and that is my long title of functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner and using functional testing to kind of help clients get the data. So originally, when I first started the business, it was just health coaching, and there was always a missing piece. And women, would come to me wanting to lose weight, but there's more to the picture than just, calories in, calories out when it comes to losing weight. So we really have to dig deep and get the data. What's going on with hormones? What's going on in our gut? Is there toxin exposure? Things like that are inhibiting weight loss. And so that's when I decided I need this certification so I can help women, dig a little deeper and really get to the root of what's going on in their body. And so we use that data and then I develop personalized protocols. So it's not this one size fits all. It's all about personalization. Everyone is bio-individual, everyone is unique, and which is kind of how I got the name. And so that is the emphasis when it comes to the coaching. And then, it's really just like you said, accountability, holding their hand, being that guide on the side for them, because it is tricky and it's really hard to do it by ourselves. If it was easy, we would all be doing it, right?
Very true. So through your journey, I'm sure because you have such a personalized approach, you've dealt with a lot of different types of clients who have, unique situations. What do you see though as one of the biggest challenges that a lot of your clients are struggling with most when trying to improve their health?
I think the biggest thing is mindset shifts and quieting the noise of what you hear on social media, or this is what I should be doing, or I should be working out more and eating less. I think we've had that ingrained in our brain for so long that it's really hard for women to peel that back and eat an appropriate amount of food, let their bodies rest when possible, not when possible, definitely a few times a week. So I think that's the biggest thing is that I've seen the most is that working out too much, not eating enough. Almost every person that comes to me is restricting calories in some way, and that is not serving their body. And so I think it's hard to get out of that mindset shift. Like I was there, I was that person that did those things. So that's why I feel like I love working with women and helping them to find that shift and that change, because even for me, it is a struggle still sometimes, but I know the value in it. And I know that that is where we see the changes. So I definitely think it's mindset, which is really hard. And then, of course, just building those habits. It's hard to change what we're used to doing day in and day out, whether that's related to our health or any other aspect of our life. So building new habits is a struggle, which again is why the coaching aspect of this whole process is key.
And I think you're really hitting it on the head with a lot of people. Men, women alike. But I think women specifically really do internalize and they see so much and compare themselves a lot more probably than males do. And I think, it's not just those habits, but I know in our previous conversations you've talked about really the lifestyle change. It's shifting the mind to be able to make these changes and these habits a difference in the lifestyle. So obviously being a small business owner, you're a one woman show, and you're doing all of this on your own, and you've been around now for several years, and I'm just curious if you could help our listeners understand what were some of the growth strategies either you've worked on in the past or that you're currently working on, really to build clientele, your brand, anything that you think that you might be able to impart on others of the strategies that have worked best for you.
Yeah, so at the beginning, it was a lot of like hitting the road and getting out there and going to other businesses, networking with people in this same industry. And also, client success. So a lot of word of mouth, like when someone has success, they're going to tell their friends who's going to tell their friends. So that has been key for my business. But then also, going to some networking events, putting on workshops, doing some speaking engagements. That's all been really helpful. That is hard for me to get out of my comfort zone and do those things, but it definitely does pay off. And I'm really consistent too with my social media presence. I just recently also started a podcast where, I'm sharing all of the information essentially that we work on through coaching in little bite-sized pieces, because it's really hard to get that message out there, just through social media. And I just want to tell everyone, like, this is how you can help yourself. So yeah, those are a few of the different ways that I've done that.
Wonderful. And then there's obviously, even like we were talking about earlier, things change so rapidly, and there's obviously a much bigger presence and emphasis on health, I would say, in the past 5 to 10 years. Based on the industry and, where things are heading, what are your thoughts for the future in terms of where you're seeing that personalized health coaching heading?
Ideally, I would love for more of this like functional health to be covered by insurance, because that is a big, fork in the road for people. They just that's that sticking point. It always comes down to price, right? Because it is all out of pocket. And so, yeah, for insurance to be able to recognize that this is valuable, this is preventative care. And so that I think would be the number one. And also, I just think overall for women in general to just prioritize themselves. More times than not, I hear, well, I'll get to myself later once the kids are out of the house or this or that. But there's no time like the present. We don't need to be, waiting to take care of ourselves. We need to prioritize ourselves. So I would love for more women to take advantage of these types of services.
It's like the old adage says, if you can't take care of others unless you take care of yourself first, right? And I think that's so easy to forget, when you're wearing all the different hats of mother or wife or friend or sister. So yes, that's really, really good advice. So as we wrap up, I'm curious if you can be reflective for a minute here and look back on your own personal journey of your health journey, but then also this journey into starting your own business and helping your clients. Is there a piece of advice that you wish you can give to someone else, like something you wish you knew then, but now, looking back?
That's really hard. I think the difference between working on your business and working in your business, there's two parts of that as a business owner. And so you have to be able to balance that. Like working with clients is one thing, but then working to grow yourself also is a whole different aspect of the business. And it's easy to get wrapped up on one side or the other. I guess the other piece of advice would be don't overthink it, just do it. So many times it's just overthinking. You just got to rip the Band-Aid and start. Because if you don't start, like, you never will. I think that, for the longest time, like, I'm going to do a podcast. And finally, I'm like, just do the podcast.
Sometimes done is better than perfect, right?
Right. Like, you can always improve as you go. And I just think you just got to start.
Great advice. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jen. We really appreciate your time on Growth Cultivated. If you found this conversation helpful, be sure to subscribe and share with others in the industry. Until next time, keep cultivating smarter growth. Thank you.